Welcome to lesson 86, new unit. We're going to look at scatter plots, and we've also noticed like what happens if we seem scattered. We're kind of all over the place, and that's what we're going to look for with a bunch of points that might look all over the place. So is there a correlation? So here's our CFS. We're going to try to identify the relationship between the two variables shown. So we're looking for accuracy there. Can you identify it? Can you identify if there's a positive correlation? And can you identify a negative, or if there's no correlation? Now, I went a little further for this one so you can see what this means. What it means when it's positive, it means they're both increasing. When there's negative, one increases and one decreases. And when there's no correlation, there's like no relationship. There's nothing, no pattern I could see. They're kind of all over the place. So what does that even mean? Let's look. I'm going to start with positive correlation. And again, this is just a plot that shows two variables to set out all these points, and we're just looking to see if there's a relationship. And looking here, I can see that most of my points are kind of going in this upward trend. Like they look kind of like they're going this way, which means that as my X is increasing, my Y is generally increasing as well. And so that creates a positive correlation where both seem to be increasing. But you can have a negative correlation. This is what it looks like. It looks like a negative slope, right? Where yes, as my X is increasing, it seems like my Y is decreasing. So it's trending downwards. So slope language and visuals for slope kind of help with us. So what does it look like when there's no correlation, like when it's all over the place? It looks like this, like there's no real pattern. I can't tell, like sometimes points are all the way down here, sometimes they're all the way up here on the same vertical line, like they're all over the place. There's no real pattern. So again, if you see an upward trend, it can be a positive correlation. If you can get a really strong, like the slope is almost a perfect one, then that's strong. A negative correlation is where you start to see that downward trend, and again, the strongest would be a negative one. And no correlation, like it's all over the place. That's what we're looking for. So let's use those terms and use this information to understand some practice problems. For 10 days, Romeo kept a record of number of hours he spent listening to music. The information is shown in the table below. Which scatter plot shows his data graphically? So I really want to see which one accurately shows all of these points correctly graphed. Now, this is a lot of points. I don't know if you want to actually check all 10 for each one, so I'm going to just look for some outliers. And this is my strategy, especially for a time test. I'm going to look for these 2 points first. When the days, which are X's, when the day is 7, and when the day is 10. So let's look at that. And I want to see would the second part be true. So when day is 7, and I'm looking here, day 7, I have no points. So I don't even have the point 7, 10 here. I'm going to cross that out. In number 2, I do have 7, 10. So I'm going to keep going. Can I eliminate any others? Yeah, I can eliminate here and here. So they want to know which one was graphed accurately. So far, it seems like this one. So I'm just noting that we had this point in here. Let's check the other ones. Do I have 1, 9? Yes. Do I have 2, 3? Yes. Do I have 3, 2? Yes. 4, 6? Yes. 5, 8? Yes. 6, 6? Yes, we confirmed this one. 8, 4, 9, 5, and 10, 2. So this is the correct answer. So again, I was just looking for really quickly which ones can I eliminate by just picking a point that I knew was going to be different, and I just picked the high number and I just started with those 2. So let's hit pause and just circle in number 2 and just verify like why the other ones didn't work. And it was because they didn't have that point right over here. They were all missing 7, 10. So let's look at this one, and this question are asking us to describe the correlation. So what do you see and what do you notice? Well, I'm seeing that the trend is going this way, so it tends to go down. This is identifying generally it's a negative correlation. And I'm going to say what that means. As the number of hours watching TV increases, the test score decreases. Okay, that's just what this graph shows. I don't want to put a political argument in here, but that's what the data in this graph is showing. As TV hours increase, the test scores tend to decrease. So it would have a negative correlation. And that's what they're looking for. Can you identify the right correlation based on the data, what you see, and then can you describe it? They're not asking for your opinion. If you agree or disagree, this is not a place for you to go and say, I disagree with the information in this graph, blah, blah, blah. They're just asking you to describe the correlation you see on the plot. All right, so hit pause and jot this down into your notes. And let's try in this one over here. What kind of correlation do you see and notice? How would you describe it? So here, they're trending in a positive way, so we would name this as a positive correlation. That means there is a suggested relationship between the years and the number of participants. That was a sentence I should have added in the last one. Participants. Oh, I almost misspelled the word participant. As the years increase, number of participants increased as well. Okay, and that's it. That's all we're looking for in today's practice. Can you see if this is positive, negative, or no correlation? Is there a strong or kind of a weak correlation? Can you see what the relationship is between your variables? And pretty much, can you describe what that relationship might mean? So that's it for today's lesson, Math Marvels. This is an introduction to scatter plots. I will see you in the next one. Be well.